Hello, first grade. So I'm trying something new today. This is called a screencast recorder. And it's neat because you can see a picture of me. It's like we're teaching in the classroom, except Mrs. Smith is near her couch. And you can see a picture in front of you of the assignment that we're working on. So this is our religion assignment for today. It's called Alleluia, Jesus is Risen, which is perfect because we just had Easter Sunday. Happy Easter. So I hope you had a wonderful Easter. Now, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be creating our pre-writing story map. Now, the videos will only allow me to do 15 minutes at a time. So when I did my initial video, it was about 18 minutes. So what I'm going to try to do is do one video where I do the reading, and then a second video where I do the actual writing. So you may need to switch back and forth. I apologize, it's not perfect. It's the first time I've ever done this, but it's really neat because I feel like we're in the classroom together again. So let's start here. So on the screen in front of you, I'm looking at it also. That's actually my mouse moving. So it's just like we're in the classroom and I'm using the big TV. And this is a picture of Jesus visiting, and we'll find out who that amazing woman is in the picture. And I think you can probably tell where they are and what day this is. All right, so let's begin here. So this part of the story is called Jesus Dies on the Cross. It was around 9 in the morning when Jesus was nailed to the cross. He hung there until the middle of the afternoon. Even the sky was filled with horror at what was happening to the Son of God. The sun became dark, and there were great clouds and thunder and an earthquake. One of the thieves who had been crucified with Jesus began to make fun of him. But the other thief told him to stop. He said, "Have you no fear of God, seeing you are under the same sentence? We are only paying the price for what we have done, but this man has done nothing wrong." Then he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus then turned his head to the good thief and promised him, "I assure you, this day you will be with me in paradise." Many of those who passed by also made fun of Jesus. They cried out, "So, you are the one who is going to destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days. Save yourself, why don't you? Come down off that cross if you are God's son." Jesus did not respond to their mockery. Instead, he prayed, "Father, forgive them. They do not know what they are doing." Later on, he prayed the first line of a psalm. My God, why have you forsaken me?" This psalm, which begins without hope, ends with the promise that God will deliver his faithful one. Some of the soldiers noticed that Jesus was thirsty, so one ran off and brought some wine that he'd put on a sponge and raised it to Jesus' lips. But Jesus refused to drink it. The mother of Jesus and the disciples whom Jesus loved were standing below the cross. Jesus looked down at his mother and said, "Woman, behold your son." And to the beloved disciple he said, "Behold your mother." And from that time on, the beloved disciple cared for Mary. When all was finished, Jesus cried out, "Father, into your hands I commend my spirit." And he breathed his last. A soldier came up to break the legs of those who were on the crosses so that they would die faster. But when he came to Jesus, he saw that he was already dead. The soldier pierced his side with a lance, and immediately blood and water flowed out. Joseph of Arimathea, a secret disciple of Jesus, asked Pilate for the body. Then, in the presence of his mother and the ministering women, he took the body of Jesus down from the cross and buried it in a tomb that was found in a garden nearby. And here is the picture from the book. So you can see here, this is the picture, and you can see the beloved disciple right here, and Mother Mary here, and one of the thieves to his left, and the other thief was to his right. You can see that in the background, the sky had turned black, even though it was only 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And here's that soldier that was trying to hurt Jesus, but he had already gone to see the Father. And at the bottom, there's a caption. It says, "Jesus commends his spirit into the hands of the Father." All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to continue reading. The second part is from Easter Sunday. And so you can read along with me, or you can watch me on the screen, whichever you prefer. And this is what it says. Early on Sunday morning, some women went out to the tomb with oil and perfume to anoint the body of Jesus. They had not had time to do this on Friday after Jesus had died, for it had been sunset of the holy day, and the body of Jesus had to be buried in a hurry. As they went along, they asked them among themselves, how were they going to get into the tomb, for the Jews had placed a huge rock in front of its entrance. When they arrived at the tomb, they were surprised to see that the rock had been rolled back. They leaned onto the tomb, and there they found a young man dressed in a white robe. He was an angel. They were filled with fear, but he told them, "You need not be amazed. You are looking for Jesus of Nazareth, the one who was crucified. He has been raised up. He is not here. See the place where they have laid him. Go now and tell his disciples and Peter, he is going ahead of you to Galilee, where you will see him, just as he told you." Peter and the beloved disciple heard the report of the women that Jesus had been raised from the dead, so they ran as fast as they could to see for themselves. The beloved disciple reached the tomb first, but he did not enter. He waited for Peter, who went into the tomb. Peter and John found the wrappings with which Jesus had been buried, but there was no body, and so the disciples went back home. Meanwhile, Mary Magdalene stood by the tomb weeping. She did not understand yet what had happened, and she thought that someone had stolen Jesus' body. Mary went inside the tomb and saw the two angels sitting inside. They asked her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" She answered, "Because the Lord has been taken away, and I do not know where they have put him." She saw a man walking in the garden, and she presumed him to be the gardener. He asked her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Who is it that you are looking for?" She ran up to him and said, "Sir, if you are the one who carried him off, tell me where they have laid him, and I will take him away." Jesus said to her, "Mary." And she recognized him and said, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus then told Mary not to cling to him, for he had not yet ascended to the Father. He sent her to go to the disciples to proclaim that he had risen from the dead. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that these pictures are, and this slide is available without the video. So if you want to read on your own, if you want to print it, you can do that. And of course, this is just from a book that I had, but this story is available on the internet as well. So just wonderful. I hope you've enjoyed, and please click to video 2.